so that they can use the Gamcell network.
The ceremony, witnessed by Gamcell senior management team, saw entertainment and delight in the hearts of the residents of Jalokoto and the surrounding villages who turned up to show support for what they termed as their very own. Mamadou Ndiaye, Grts.
The Manding Mori Foundation for Performing Arts has opened a music academy at a ceremony held in Kanifing. The unveiling of the new facility comes at a time when players in the country's entertainment industry are intensifying efforts to take this sector to another level. Ndai Kumbademba reports.
Established in 2011, the Manding Mori Foundation for Performing Arts is a non-profit organization aimed at building capacity, enhancing professionalism and creating opportunities for livelihoods in the performing arts, especially for young talents. In its endeavor to further strengthen the organization goals, Manfopa officials opens the Manding Mori Academy of Music. Beginning with a first batch of 20 participants, this music academy, the first of its kind in the Gambia, as Ibrahim Sise explains, is one-year pilot project with over $1 million.
The Gambia creates economic benefits of more than $12 million for foreign musicians contracted for performance between 2011 and 2012. This is our aim that in 2 years' time, the Music Academy will produce musicians and talents that will be able to compete internationally and produce quality music for public consumption that will reduce influx of foreign artists, even though music has no boundaries.
The chairperson of the board of Manfopa, who also doubles as the chairperson of the National Center for Arts and Culture, Tijan Kamara, spoke at the issues hindering the progress of homegrown music.
To me, these are young people who have revolutionized the music landscape in this country with their raw talents. Definitely, I have lived in this world for quite some time now. I have witnessed different generations. When I was a small boy, seeing the likes of the Super Eagles, Stefan Bondi, knowing what music was then and what Gambian music was like, locally and internationally.
The director of the National Center for Arts and Culture urged stakeholders to come on board and render the needed support required by the country's music industry.
It is no secret that this government, through the NCAC, have acknowledged and endorsed the establishment of such ventures, especially capacity building in the areas of music and film. We welcome such private sector initiatives toward the development of our budding arts industries, and as they offer the opportunities to benefit young people. We are doing our part as a government by creating the enabling environment by passing such legislative improvements, instruments that start to empower the artists.
With facilities such as a mini studio, a classroom, numerous other musical instruments, as well as trainers and managers at hand, Manfopa's Music Academy can make a hugely positive impact in the Gambia's music arena. As a result of this, Gambian performing artists, notably the first intake of the Manding Mori Academy of Music project, can expect light at the end of the tunnel when and if they make the most of this invaluable music project. For Grts News, I am Deku Mademba.
The president of the Rotary Club of Fajara on Saturday, the 12th January 2013, presided over the commissioning of a project jointly sponsored by the Rotary Club of Fajara in partnership with Rotary International District 9100 amongst others. The standard kitchen will enable 2,500 students access the school feeding program. Mamadou Diallo has the details.
This intervention came after many years of efforts to build a kitchen to enable students benefit from the school feeding program. The ceremony was graced by various dignitaries, including the regional education officers, the chief of Combo Central, the National Assembly member for the area, Parent-Teacher Association, and a cross-section of the community. Fode Sila, the president of Rotary Club of Fajara, said Rotary is an organization of business and professional leaders united worldwide who provide humanitarian service, encourage high ethical standards in all vocations, and help build goodwill in the world. It is the largest humanitarian service organization for professional men and women who want to make a better world and who are dedicated to providing friendly help to local and international communities. Rotary International have over 1.2 million members with over 34,000 clubs in over 200 countries worldwide. He said the school feeding program is a motivation for many and therefore hoped that the project will help to improve the quality of education in the country. He took the opportunity to call on all hands to be on deck to contribute to national development since central government alone cannot do it. He thanked all partners who contributed towards the success of the project and assured them that their monies will be put to good use and that their names are already written in the history books of the school. He also thanked the Parent-Teacher Association and the school administration for their cooperation and support during the implementation of the project. Other speakers were the Chief of Combo Central, the National Assembly member for the area, the education officers from Region 2 and the Gambia College. The headmaster of the school, on behalf of the school and the community of Brikama, thanked the sponsors for such a help to the school. Immediate past President Benjamin A. Roberts, who chaired the program, urged the students to take care of the project since it belongs to them. The club also on the same evening staged an art exhibition at Ozone Front residence in Kololi to promote Gambian artists and also raise funds geared towards helping the needy. Mamadou Diallo, GRTS.
Malian ground forces backed by French air power retake the strategic town of Jabali. Scenes of heavy fighting between Islamic rebels and government troops and the aftermath of a fierce assault on a gas field in Algeria leaves many people dead and many foreigners still unaccounted for. We'll be back with these stories right after the break. Welcome back. In Mali, French troops are entering their second week of fighting alongside Malian forces to wrest control of the country's north from Islamic militants. Vladimir Duterte has been following events in the country and earlier spoke to CNN's Natalie Allen on the line from Lagos, Nigeria.
Along with Malian soldiers, have been heading north, pushing north and retaking some key cities. We know that earlier this weekend, they took back the key city of Kona. Now, this was the city that the Malian insurgents took control of on January 10th, which actually preceded this military intervention by France and Mali. And we also hear that the meeting in the Ivory Coast with the leaders of the Economic Community of West African States has ended, and that they are again preparing plans to deploy a force of some 3,300 African soldiers to the region to supplement what could ultimately be a force of French soldiers that tops 2,500. We know now that France has said that they do not expect to stay there indefinitely. They do not expect this military action to be their Afghanistan. What they do hope is that once the West African soldiers are on the ground, that they will ultimately take the lead in reinforcement and ultimately driving these militants out of northern Mali, Natalie.
And as you've said earlier, driving them out, not easy at all, considering that they tend to hide within populations and putting, of course, civilians at risk, not just soldiers.
That's correct. I think that, you know, what is clear is that even if they are able to push the militants back, the danger, of course, is that they, at any point in time, they may return, and that is a reality in a country where you have a very weak functioning government. And so and this is a country that, at least in the northern part of the country, which is roughly equal to the size of France. So if the soldiers, if the French and their West African allies are able to push out the militants, the question is, how long can you stay on the ground? And the second question is, if you leave, will they return, Natalie?
In the Algerian desert, unanswered questions and unaccounted for citizens. Algerian state media says about 800 hostages were rescued in Saturday's military assault on the gas plant that was taken over by the militants. Countries with workers still missing are finding it very hard to get answers. CNN's senior international correspondent Dan Rivers gave this update.
waiting to fill in those missing